I'm Joanna Abeyie. I'm 24 years old. I'm a journalist and presenter. I'm also a social entrepreneur. I founded Shine Media, which is a social enterprise that champions diversity within the mainstream media industry. I finished studying a degree in English and sociology, and then I took on a master's in magazine journalism, and then I went straight into a magazine. First of all, I was working with BBC Radio Times, and I guess you could say that was the start of my kind of staff-paid journalism career. So straight after the BBC, which I mentioned, I was at Radio Times. I then went to Top of the Pops, one of their other titles. Then I went to a homes and antiques magazine, which was based in Bristol. Then back down here, where I joined Pride magazine as the entertainment editor. And now I've recently joined the features team at Cosmopolitan. And so my first presenting opportunity came when I was working with a radio presenter for BBC 5 Live, Joanna Abeyie, and he set up his own TV channel, which was called Colour Telly, and he invited me to sit on a panel called Sister Talk, which is basically like a loose women, but this was specifically for black women to sit on that panel, because he didn't feel that there was that in the market at the time. And at first I thought, what am I going to say? But he was quite keen to have a young voice on there. And then I thought, well, what the amount of interaction I have with young people, hopefully I'll represent them in quite a nice, positive way. And so I went on the show, and it was general things really. So it'd be news items, to entertainment stories, to general debate really in the UK. And it's a kind of it started off as quite a gospel religious station, and I think now it's becoming a little bit more open to other things. But she started off a show called The Kubi Springer Show and asked me to come on kind of she was doing a series of media professionals, and she asked me to come in on one of those. And so I had to basically have a chat with her about what I'd done to date. It being a TV show and entertainment, I had to name drop a couple of celebrities that people would be interested in me interviewing into the story that we were having a chat. And then that was all I really did with her. And we basically I was working with a new company actually called Young Millionaire, and I think their primary focus is to inspire young people, and particularly young men, to kind of go for their dreams and to really reach their potential. And what they felt that Chipmunk provided was he was young, he was current, a lot of people listened to him, he'd come from a similar background to the young people they felt would be watching their film. So they asked me if I would have a quick chat with him and do some snippets in between, and it worked out really, really well. I think the record label were really happy with it. Chipmunk personally said he was quite happy with it. And I'd say what motivates me is a desire to kind of be the best. I think especially within that area of showbiz, there's so many reporters. I mean, we've got, especially over here in the UK, you've got the Dan Wootton, who's a News of the World, who's made a very, very good career out of writing showbiz news. You've got people like Dean Piper, major networks like MTV. So I do know how kind of saturated that industry is in particular. I mean, all you've got to do is look at like the red carpet when you're standing there, and there's about 15 of you in that one kind of event and in that little pen. So I'm very aware of how saturated it is. So I think I'm always striving to be better than people around me and learn from them, because ultimately I have to be better than them to get all the good things really.